If you're worried about huge influxes of money into our elections, including the election we're in right now, and you're worried that some candidate might cheat the system, then what you want, what you need is a strong FEC to look into potential rule breaking. And thankfully, today actually, they have a meeting scheduled. Unfortunately, they won't be able to actually have that meeting because they literally don't have enough members to have a quorum to hold official business. It seems crazy, it gets even crazier. And so we're joined by the man who broke this story, senior political reporter for the Center for Public Integrity, Dave Levinthal. Welcome back to the show.
Hey John, good to be with you.
Good to have you here. So I have it right, right? They literally cannot meet in the way that they're supposed to right now.
Well, not only can they not meet, but the Federal Election Commission, which was set up in the aftermath of Watergate to enforce and regulate campaign finance laws in the country, can't enforce campaign finance laws. They need at least 4 commissioners in order to do pretty much all of their higher functions, meet in public session, enforce the law, penalize scofflaws, make formal investigations of political committees or politicians who might be doing something wrong. They can't do any of that right now because they only have 3 commissioners who are serving on the FEC as we speak. So until they get back to that magic number of 4, the FEC more or less is dead in the water, and they can't do any of the things that we just mentioned.
So whose fault is this? Who's stopping more people from being put onto the FEC so that they can actually make that quorum?
Sure. So here we are on day 33 of this kind of semi-shutdown, and it really takes 2 to tango here. Number one, the president of the United States, of course, in this case, Donald Trump, must nominate FEC nominees to the commission. And that's the job of the US Senate to go and have a hearing and ultimately approve those nominations. So we've got 2 things going on here. Number one, we've got the president who's only nominated 1 FEC commissioner who's been languishing for about 2 years to the FEC. Mind you, there are 3 right now vacant spots. And then the Senate hasn't taken up that 1 nominee and is kind of in sort of a minor fight or spat with the president over what to do with the whole commission. Mind you, John, all 6 commissioner slots are either vacant right now or are being occupied by people, commissioners, who have well overserved their 6-year terms. Federal Election Commission commissioners are only supposed to be there for 6 years, but collectively, the 3 who are remaining have served 29 years past the expiration of their respective terms. So it's kind of a mess over there, to say the least. And the Senate and the president just haven't been able to get together on the question of whether to just push through 1 nominee and get the FEC back in functioning, or to kind of clean the whole slate and get 6 new commissioners in there, which they could do at this point, even as odd as that sounds.
Well, the last thing we need is a body filled with people who have stayed well past their expiration date. We've already got the Senate and the House of Representatives for that. But so he should have nominated more people. The Senate should have taken it up. Presumably, the Democrats, I'm assuming, can try to throw up some roadblocks, but the Republicans control the White House. They control the Senate. So is this just on them to do their job? And if so, why are they not doing it?
So I spoke to the White House a couple of weeks ago and asked that very question, said, well, what do you want? And what they said at the White House, President Trump's spokesperson said, well, the Senate should go ahead and move forward with the 1 nominee, a guy by the name of Trey Traynor, an attorney from Texas, a Republican. And the White House wants the Senate to go ahead and pass him through the system, which they have not done yet. That would get the FEC back up and functioning, at least at a basic level. But Senate Republicans who I've talked to have a different take. They want to see all 6 commissioner slots filled with new people who are going to both take care of the vacancies at the FEC right now, and also to get rid of the 3 commissioners, a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent, who are there and who have overserved their terms by many, many years. Senate Democrats, meanwhile, have actually put forward to President Trump a commissioner suggestion, somebody who Donald Trump could nominate, because the FEC is a bipartisan organization, a bipartisan independent agency. So Donald Trump has to nominate no more than 3 people from any one party to the FEC. So right now, Donald Trump hasn't taken the Democrats up on their offer. This is a person who right now is a lawyer at the FEC. Her name is Shauna Broussard. She would be the first African-American ever nominated to the FEC if ultimately she gets nominated. And it's unclear as to what the White House is going to do with the Democrats' recommendation for Shauna Broussard.
Yeah, so some of these arguments as to why we can't move forward on this sound, I don't really buy them necessarily. Like, okay, you want all 6 to be filled. Filling one of them, that gets you 1/6 of the way there, and then you just have to do 5 more. And what concerns me is that if this is the watchdog, if these are the cops in this area, then having it not be stocked, having it so that they can't actually do a quorum, that isn't just a neutral thing. That benefits one group of people, people who violate campaign finance laws. And in a time where on one side, I mean, some of the Democrats have raised a ton of money. Trump and the Republican Party have raised something like $125, $135 million in the last quarter. This doesn't seem to me like a good situation for there to be nobody looking over people's shoulders. Am I too concerned? Am I exaggerating the threat here?
A lot of folks would agree with you. Now, the FEC doesn't have the FEC police. They're not a criminal law enforcement agency. Yeah,
I'm speaking metaphorically, of course.
And by virtue of that, they are going to be able to be limited in what they could do. But bottom line is they are the tip of the spear when it comes to investigations for any type of wrongdoing that could happen in our campaigns as it pertains to money. So if you're not investigating people who are working on the margins, who might be doing the wrong thing, who might be breaking a law, then it's a situation where, yeah, the bad actors out there are going to kind of get a pass, or potentially get a pass. Now, the Department of Justice in criminal matters can get involved in campaign finance matters. That is their purview, but by and large, the bulk of the work that gets done when it comes to investigating campaign finance matters, John, happens at the FEC. If you have no FEC, they can't do that work, and we could have a situation here that lasts weeks or even months without the FEC playing that cop on the beat role at a time when quite literally hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars are being raised in the 2020 election right here and now.
Yeah. I mean, that all sounds scary. Thankfully, the one thing we have going for us is that I can't really think of anyone who would try to use this opportunity to influence an election in a legal way. So we do have that going for us, Dave. As always, thank you so much for joining us. And considering some of the high-profile stories that the media, I think, rightfully is focusing on a lot, you keeping an eye on groups like the FEC, more needed than ever before. So thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.